Alrighty, so here we go for game number 2. Right away, we also have another composition problem with a Trundle and Mundo that want to run fast. And then we have all the engaged left for a Varus R, a Nami R, just very unreliable forms of CC because I think our draft is bad. We'll look past that and we'll go for our level 1 setup. So here, Varus sees them walking in. Right here, we need to make the call. Are we looking to fight or are we looking to back off? We need to be on the same page, especially with Riley's positioning. At this point, if we do not decide what we want to do, he's left for dead. So let's see. Fizz walks in. We're autoing. Trundle still does not collapse on this. By the time he moves, everybody is already there. And then we run away. Do you guys realize what happens if Amumu just lands double Q, Soraka gets silence, Fizz gets first blood? How can Varus play into a first blood Fizz? He can't. Like this is just so greedy, especially when there's Amumu on the other team. We know how much CC an Amumu brings to a level 1. So back-to-back games, poor comps, poor level 1s because we're being greedy. So let's continue. We set down a ward with 5 people in our face. They clear it, we get no advantage. When there's this many people here and we're giving up the area, don't drop your ward, you're just handing them over golden experience, and now we get nothing from it. Again, set everything up. So here on the bright side, it's not as much of a Clown Fiesta level 1, but it definitely could have. Our first note is going to be in the bot lane. Just like we talked about in game 1, we need to understand, A, what we're supposed to do in our lanes, and B, how the wave management and the experience is going to benefit us. So right here, we're going to see, I believe it's at 215. Right here on this second melee minion, we get level 2. We have Ignite on Nami, and no Ignite on the other side. We have, Nyla, who wants to be up in your face, and we're letting them up here auto. Nami needs to be standing up at these minions and autoing and pressuring so that Nyla can go in and look to kill. Why do we have still, look here, a level 1 Soraka? Now, before I get ahead of myself, Soraka stays level 1 for the next 10 seconds still. So we've had a level 2 advantage from 215 until 240. That is 25 seconds that we can press a go button, and we don't bother to do so. So we'll just let that go for now. As this plays, right here we see a Mumu. So again, level 3, level 1, level 1, level 1. One more time, level 1. But then we don't want to fight. Right here, freaking go! Use your advantage. Like, we are just not comfortable. And I don't know if it's because of the champions we're on, because of the roles that we've just swapped, but, like, this is not playing bot lane. And this is not. This is like they are getting to play against bots. Like, you're afraid to do what you're supposed to do. And I need to understand whether it's the champion or the role because we got to fix one or the other. So here, Riley gets screwed because we have an advantage bot lane and we don't press it. So we let it go. That's fine to get out. We've missed 2 bubbles so far. Very small micro thing we can touch on. Let's see. Is that right here? Or is it right before the gank? Let me find it. I believe it's right here. If we watch Nami's experience bar, because she's playing so far back, she doesn't get any experience from this range minion, gets it from the cannon though. So because we're playing so far back, We aren't getting experience. And again, we're getting drowned out, waving the white flag. Why are we here? If we're just going to not play the lane, don't pick Nami. Don't pick enchanters. You're basically playing it like a tank anyway. Advantageous trade here for mid. Now right here, this is going to be a very big theme of this game. You need to be calling for Riley to finish his camp, run mid, and help you get this wave under. You both are sitting duck. Fizz has E and Q. He doesn't need flash. You have nothing. This wave needs to get under. Instead, look where it's frozen. Look where it stopped, right here. You are a sitting duck, and instead of calling for Trundle, he's going to do Scuttle. As Amumu was walking through here, I don't give a rat's ass about this Scuttle, and you shouldn't either as Trundle. Instead, you need to help your mid laner, get this wave under, and then look at the gold. You have enough gold for a tier. Get it under, get a tier, come back. Stop playing so greedy. So again, we get Scuttle, and we're going to go farm, instead of getting this wave under. So this wave is going to sit here, and sit here, and sit here. Varus is under pressure. They're going to sit here. It's going to sit here. It's going to sit here. We have no vision down, even though we are just up in here. We're going to sit here. It's going to sit here. And guess what? 30 seconds later, Fizz gets first blood because of it. So because two people are greedy, we start losing the game. That's first example of this. We're going to speed it up to the second example. Right here. Mundo. We know that bot lane is under tower. Our mid laner backed. Amumu's top side. We just saw it. Where's the only play he can do? Top lane. So, Trundle needs to either really needs to come over here and help shove this wave. Again, he's up in farm. He can take a few seconds to stop and sacrifice for himself to get this under. So that way Mundo can at least either back or at least have the wave shoving back to him. Because Seraphine does not have TP and does not have mana. This is a terrible wave scenario for Seraphine if you set it up properly. Instead, Trundle backs, which means Mundo has to stay up here. Now, because it's Mundo into a Seraphine, this does not get punished as much as it could. Imagine if this was an Aatrox, if this was a Camille, anything that was actually relevant. Mundo either dies or has to burn both of his summoners. Instead, he gets to walk out, and we're lucky. Why? Because of the matchup we're in and because we're playing buffoons. So we'll play this forward. I don't know why we're TPing here. She has no mana to shove this wave in. Just walk back. Save your TP. She's just stupid. She should have just completed her back because now you're just going to threaten a dive here, but your jungler's bot side. So overall, this play works out, again, because she doesn't complete her back. A bad decision, but you're getting rewarded for it. I like that you don't go for the dive because you don't know where their jungler is. We see a Mumu now, though. So here is example number 3, actually. I passed it. We know that Trundle finished drag, right? He finished his Scuttle. Look where the bot wave is. Again, right here. Just like we saw in mid lane. Just like we saw in top lane. So 6 minutes into the game, and we have 3 examples of poor wave management, poor wave states, and then we don't do nothing to bail it out. We just roll over and take it. So this wave is going to sit here. Again, with no summoners on your ADC, Trundle runs away. Amumu takes advantage. 3 for 3. Like, we lose. I don't care that we get away here. We're just playing stupid. We're not communicating. We're not playing the game. Like this. Oh, I'm trying not to just be dramatic and be harping on everything, but this is the worst, like, the worst games I've watched. We're not playing the game. What is our win con? Mundo. Again, 2 straight games. I'm okay with that. I don't care that it's the tank. Now, the rest of the game, let's see how much support we give that. Right here, we watch the Fizz walk out bot. This should be calling from Varus. Fizz's bot side, do not fight. Fizz's bot side. So what do? We keep fighting because we're greedy, like we've been every single time. And guess what? Fizz gets another kill and gets blue buff. So here we are into the game. 7 minutes. We're down 600 gold. Fizz, one of their only win cons, the only person that could probably win them the game, and we're handing them the game. Like, I don't know if it was just an overall bad day, but this is just not the way we need to play. So here we are again. We're 7 minutes in. We know Amumu is bot side. We know this, right? 100%. We know that Fizz has roam and can do anything. He's still in lane, though. We know Amumu is here. We know this is theirs. What is the play for them? They can either dive right here, which they probably will not do just because Fizz doesn't have R, but they 100% can, or they dive here. Like, we cannot, like, Trundle cannot run and do camps. Instead, he needs to be hovering this in case there's a dive. And Nami cannot be recalling here. If you set this up and Amumu just dives, Nyla dies again, and then we fall even farther behind. If you need to recall, because I know you end up having about 1,000 gold probably. Yeah, 1,100 gold. If you have to recall, Nyla has to recall with you. And then she just gets a call. This is just very bad play that's giving them opportunity. Amumu should have been right here looking to dive, and this ward does nothing. Like, by the time you see them, it's too late. The ward needs to be up here. Now, again, here we are. We already talked about it. What's the win con? Top lane. So we have Trundle topside. Varus has a roam tower. I'm totally fine with this. But instead of roaming top to the win condition, to the Seraphine that's a waste, and to the Rift that we can take, we go bot. So watch this. We come down. Varus has to flash forward. Nami has to flash forward. All ultimates have been used. They flash out. We get nothing. So yes, they're bot laners, burn summoners, but we did too. So what advantage should we get from that? Absolutely nothing. Because we're trying to bail out the losing lane time after time after time after time, and it's not going to pan out. You have to play to your win condition. You're playing on autopilot. You're playing the game, trying to play it the same way every single game, rather than reading the map and reading the situation and playing it the correct way. Varus should have been up here. This should be a dive. Look at this. Look how easy. Mundo goes in, tanks tower, uses ultimate. Varus or Mundo get kill. You get out. You get rift. You get top tower. That is the play right now, and that gives you a gold advantage. That gives you a win condition. But instead, we're making the wrong play. So here we are, 9 minutes in, under tower. Nami's going to leave. So Nami's leaving. We don't have Trundle bot side. We know plays for Rift. Nyla cannot be here. We don't have any vision, none. So we don't know where anybody is. We know Ashe is 6. Hopefully we're tracking the R's down, but maybe we don't. We don't know where Amumu is. There's no support. So we're greeding for this. Because, that's the story of yesterday, playing for greed. So not only do we not take the plate and run, which would have been fine, we go for another wave. And guess what? We get punished because of it. Because they're smart players. This Amumu's taken advantage of every single mistake. Let's speed this up. Actually, let's go right here. So right here, we know two things. We know that Mundo's recalling, and we know that Dragon's coming up. And we also have Rift. So what the play here is after you finish this camp, walk up here and drop the Rift. So that way when Mundo comes back, he has a Rift Herald with him, and he can threaten this tower. The one that he's already taken 4 plates from himself because he's not getting any help. Then you threaten possibly 2 towers, and Trundle can either stay with him and play to this threat, which honestly I probably would have stayed with Mundo and just given up Dragon because of how far behind mid and bot are. So then you look to get 2 towers with your Rift Herald in exchange for Dragon, probably a good trade. Or you drop the Rift, let Mundo do it himself, And then either they have to send 2 people to stop him and you get dragon, or you get at least 1 tower and can contest this 4v4. But instead, we don't use Rift. So we're just not going to make any plays. We're going to run bot. We see Fizz. Look at this vision. We see him the entire way. Instead of Trundle walking up here and stopping this, like, look where the bot lane is. If you're in either of these bushes and Nami's here to support you, this is a 3v1. He is ahead of the play. We see this. Instead, you're sitting here to farm, letting him get as deep as he wants. We see this the entire way coming. So either you guys need to fight him in either of these 2 bushes, or bot lane needs to get away from this, be all the way up here, and then come into the jungle here, so that way you guys fight as 4. Instead, we do neither. We throw a bubble towards a Fizz, who can just literally press buttons and kill. Okay, we lose. 4v3. 4v3. We can't kill the Soraka on the backline. We can't kill the Fizz. We get lucky because of minions, because Soraka's a buffoon. And we trade 2 for 3. And we lose drag. But we got nothing with Rift. This is not a way to play the game. Again, we're letting them do whatever they want. We're taking small trades that are poor for us and letting it snowball. Here, Mundo plays, again, very well. For the 6th time between this game and last game, Mundo's the win con. Somebody please help him. Here, what do we want to do with Rift? Rift is expiring. We have to use it mid, right? Very unfortunate because we didn't use it top. We'll speed this up. And right here is where I start having deja vu. We get Varus coming down bot, looking to force a play into a losing lane rather than punishing the Seraphine. That could accelerate both of you. By this time, when did Varus roam bot the first time? 8:35, right? What is flash timer? 5 minutes. We're at 13:35. We know 100% that they have flashes back up. So on spawn of their flashes, rather than 30 seconds ago when they don't have flashes, we try to make this play. So again, we're burning Varus and Nami flash and ultimates to get their flashes. It is not worth it. We are not punishing this. We're beating our head against the wall expecting different results. It's just, it drives me nuts. And then if we back this up, we make the play. Trundle watches Fizz leave through mid. We get vision of this. So instead of backing out through the lane where we might be able to be safe, we walk into the freaking river, the one place where Fizz is, and we die. What are we doing? Why are we playing the game like this? Here we are. Mundo is stomping the entire freaking game with 0 support. He's getting no help while we are inting our faces off across the map. I don't know. This is like, I feel disgusting watching this. Fizz is so far ahead, he can just do what he wants. Now, I cannot see this in a game anymore. I'm tired of seeing this. ADC and mid in the same lane, sharing gold, sharing XP. You're starving yourselves. You're losing the game for yourselves. Look at this. Both our mid and ADC are behind, and instead of getting solo gold and XP while they are trying to deal with this monster in the top lane, we're splitting everything. So minions, just die, lose the XP, lose the gold. Don't worry, our Nyla and Varus who are behind can just split it. They can scrap. Oh, instead of sending the 2 carries that need the gold or XP, let's send our support. What are we doing? Guys, I'm really sorry if this is coming across as me berating you guys, but this was terrible quality of play, and it comes from draft, it comes from micro, it comes from macro, it comes from communication. Here, we have Mundo, who was 1v3ing up here. We can rewind it. Mundo's 1v3ing. We shove in this. The plays to get rift. And the two carries who've just spent a minute sharing gold and XP. You have 600 gold, 900 gold. Instead of rotating to help secure this objective or rotating to help your win condition, you recall. Why are we playing solo queue? Why? Why are we not playing a team game? What is the point of playing in a competitive setting if we're not going to play competitively as a team? Oy. And then we recall and we run to the same lane again. Like, this cannot happen. This is a sin. If you want to play like this, we need to role swap again. Like, this is not playing League of Legends. This is not. Again, we get bailed out because they're playing like buffoons. This is not a good play on our end. They just play poorly. ADC is face checking a bush. Again, they play poorly. It looks like the Amumu DC'd, so that's probably why we got the gold. Here we are again, just like last game. The set was behind, but we just started to ignore them, and so they got back into the game. So here, the Seraphine, who's been absolutely useless and not able to do anything, is able to get gold and experience and start hitting the tower with nobody answering her. Because we want to just play ARAM. Here we are, throwing another useless bubble. Great kill, stepping up. So here we are. We know it's 3v4 or 4v5 on the map. Mundo is getting a tower for us. He's getting us back into the game. Nyla's matching the Seraphine. We saw Amumu go out topside. We make the smart rotation to drag. Good play. Now we're using our brains. Here, needless aggression. You have a top and a support who's far behind. Very far behind. Mythic difference already. We have Nyla not in the play. Varus recalled. Trundle farming. This is just unnecessary. I know Mundo is so far ahead, but this is just daring them to take away our advantage. When you are the win con, when you are the advantage, stop playing like this. You don't get to just do whatever you want. You need to make the smart play because the win is on your back. Because they're buffoons, this works out. This is a poor play. Don't mistake results for good or bad. We have Rift. We drop it. Good. Again, Seraphine up doing whatever she wants. Getting back into the game. Not good for us, but this is the right play to make. Honestly, I think we send Nyla up here to match this again. We already have Varus here to help clear. We don't need two ADCs here splitting gold and experience every single time I look mid. We get the proc off. We can't do anything. We back up. Here. 1942. Let's look at gold in our pockets. Mundo has 1900. Bot lane has a combined 2300. Mid and jungle arguably could stay on the map. Let's see what happens. So, Nami backs. Nyla goes to farm. I'm okay with this, but really I think Trundle should be back here farming and Nyla should have reset or at least run top. Varus, what are we doing? We don't have any pressure here. We don't have vision. We don't have people. Why are we here? We're going for a pick. And because we're going for a pick and just focusing on something that's on our screen and getting baited into it because we're greedy, we're getting punished. So now, there goes Varus. Again, falling behind even farther. Here's Mundo trying to 1v9 with no help. Again, this is greedy. You have 2k gold just back. If you die, that's their only win condition. They kill Mundo, they win. By the skin of your teeth, you get out. You should have been killed. But again, we're going to mistake the end result and think that it was a good process, but it was actually a terrible decision. Here we are. We have decent vision topside. We want to fight this because Mundo just backed and is huge. So even if we don't get Baron, we want the fight. Nyla's going to be a little late. I'm okay with this. I think this is a good call. Well done. Now again, we're going to split gold and XP 4 ways. Let's watch this. No Trundle here. We get a big pick onto the Soraka. Huge. Well done. Here, either Trundle needs to keep running so you can, guys, look to zone the sides. Because again, Fizz's game plan, kill the backline, the 3 squishy members that we have. 4 because Trundle is a walking ward as well. Mundo cannot be up here. Mundo needs to be over here on the side. You have to. You have to be the one to zone the Amumu and to zone the Fizz. Whatever side Mundo is on, that is where the carries need to be. You need to allow Mundo to zone. But this is way too deep. This is not okay. You need to be at the tower hitting it, or you need to be over here zoning. Instead, 2 people walk into a stun. We get Ashar. Fizz gets free access onto the backline. Well played, Micro, from you, but he should never have been able to get back here. We're still fighting. This is about 40 seconds later. Trundle was able to get Scuttle, but instead is running for the wave instead of coming up here and helping. Again, Mundo's diving under here because he's flexing and trying to play God mode instead of playing the game smart. So here we are. We are 1v3 under the tower here. Yeah, 1v3 with no wave, so Nyla has to start tanking. And again, because they're bad, they have a very bad comp, and you're so far ahead, you get away with this. But we're just practicing bad habits rather than playing smart. We get the inhib and back off. Great. Now we can look to get Dragon. We have 1,700 gold on Mundo, with Dragon coming up in 5 seconds. Probably makes more sense just to back with your Baron recall and run straight to Dragon. So that way you guys can get Dragon and look to fight afterwards. That's the other thing. We need to be syncing our resets. We all need to be spending gold together, so that way we can be on the map and looking to make plays. So just like I talked about, if Mundo would have backed first and then came, everyone would have spent, we would have been able to take this Dragon and then all go bot lane. That's the play. That is the play. But instead, Mundo did a very delayed base. Your win condition backs off the map, and now we can't do anything. So now we're wasting more of a Baron buff. This is just unfortunate, but we are able to trade picks here, 1 for 1. Right here, we run. We run. Why are we running? Why are we running at them? We don't have Mundo, and we don't have Trundle. Run away. Run away. Down here, I want to watch this. We see all of them in base, so we feel comfortable doing this. I'm fine with this. We rotate Mundo down because we want to start sieging. They rotate over in time. Why are we doing this? Why are we acting like we're the bait when we're the carry? Be back here, behind the wave. You're playing like you're a support. You're playing like you don't matter. You're playing like you're better than them. And this is the arrogance that makes us lose. One Amumu Q into a Soraka Silence, into the Seraphine. Ash just needs to be there. We don't know where Fizz is. You're dead as a doorknob. Like, Mundo's clearing. If anything, Mundo should be the one here baiting this. Not you. Why? Why are we playing like this? We're playing so arrogant yesterday. So here, we'll speed this up a little bit. We've basically seen all of them besides Fizz right now. Fizz comes into the picture. Our two carries are walking into a Mumu alt range. He doesn't even Q. What are we doing? You don't have Cleanse. You don't have Mikhails. Like, what are we doing? We're not kiting backwards. We're autoing him and standing in place. He walks into alt range and hits 3 people. Like, this is a Mumu's dream. He doesn't even need to play. So now he gets the ultimate and still has 2 Qs to follow it up. Again, they play this so terribly because they just don't have anybody in position. But because we just play like that, down goes Varus. Right here. Oh, Nyla just gets away. Nami's been able to do absolutely nothing. But again, because Mundo's so far ahead and they have such a shit comp, he's able to run this over. But guess what this whole time? We're fighting. 4v5. On a Trundle. A team fight jungler. But it's okay. Nami will just die. Everyone will just die. So here, we just got to save face. Mundo has to stall as long as possible. Trundle has to get inhib. I agree with this play. So now we have double inhibs down. Stop playing greedy. Just stop. This is stupid. Recall. All right, the play from here. You're up 5k gold. Mundo is a monster. You have 2 inhibs down. Group and force triple inhib. Let's see what we do. Mundo's on the map right now. He TP's down here. I don't know why we're TPing because there's no threat. There's no vision. A second wasted TP so far this game. Third, I lied. There's one top mid and now bot. So every lane we've wasted a TP in. Here, Mundo's pushed so far. Again, 0 vision to support this. Team's not in position. So instead of walking down here, being about here right now, and having a TP to come and help your teammate at Baron, instead you're forcing yourself into this play. I'm okay with this. You force them to choose one or the other, and you still get out. I'm fine with that. Now again, we get this wave under, and we can look to end the game. Because we're better, because Mundo's so far ahead, this works out. In 80% of scenarios, this is not how we play the game. Now here, 28-20 is when Mundo starts dancing. 28-20. $29.05. 45 seconds. You're standing there dancing as the carry while your team does all the work. If we don't want to practice like we're going to play, don't waste everybody's time. Again, stop mistaking results for good process. This, another bad game. I don't care that we won. We got lucky. We got lucky that they were bad and that they had a bad comp. Biggest takeaways from this. 1, we need to fix our level 1s because they're shit. 2, we need to figure out something in the bot lane because we're not playing it. We don't look comfortable. We're not playing it correctly. Whether it's changing the champions you guys are on, whether it's more practice, whether it's role swapping back, something needs to change. We can't go into the game like this. And 3, please, 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 God, play to win conditions. Please. This is ridiculous.